Xbox skipped on a mid-gen refresh console, while expanding their platform to PC and other devices. With handhelds dominating the mobile games trend, and a promise from Xbox leadership to showcase new hardware this holiday, all eyes are on the Game Awards for new Xbox game announcements and for the reveal of Xbox's next console in 2025. You're not going to buy this handheld? Looks like it's going to come out
buying
this
it anyway.
year.
This ain't it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's yeah. This
Sorry,
ain't it. This ain't it either for me.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. And yes, this is going to be a myriad of salt here, all from the Xbox community, of course, in regards to their copium for Indiana Jones arriving on the system, copium for third-party non-existence support on the Xbox ecosystem, and all sorts of stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I said, we're going to do, just in the theme of things for Indiana Jones arriving very shortly here, let's start with none other than Colt Eastwood. Let's see how this man-child is in fact hurting at this point in time. As you can see, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5 Pro with PSSR in 2025. So they're having issues with PSSR, how that works. They're upset the fact that Indiana Jones is on there, and of course he's showing Pitfall because... talk about an extreme. It's not even a PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One X game, OG Xbox game, anything like that. They have to go all the way back to Atari. This is how bad this man is hurting right now, folks. We have to feel for him for a moment, but I don't really feel for him. He does it to himself, and he's just the man-child that he is. But as the gentleman below states, the JE we'll call him, this man's hurting, right? Just like I stated, when Indiana Jones releases on PS5, not only does Xbox lose an exclusive, it will also be an enhanced, superior version on the Pro. This is also true. This is how you know he's hurting, because their first-party games are doing better on a competing platform, but just depends on the narrative of the day, the week, that Colt's going to sit there and say he's mainly a PC player now, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But this post is more of a self-comforting thing, and he's absolutely right. This guy's speaking a lot of facts here. He might try and come from my job here if he keeps up, but shows how much he's hurting by the PS5 release. You'd be an awful poker player, and that he would be. We all have that clip of him where he's blinking his eyes and he acted like he got this fake insider information. The jokes write themselves. You don't even have to try with this guy. The jokes write themselves. He's such a fake, avid performer of sorts to continue that grift, man. And boy, is he hurting, because, man, that Xbox ecosystem, that Xbox fanboyism, you lost. It's over. Your first-party games are coming to competing platforms and doing better. But, all the prayers up for this gentleman right here. All the prayers up for Colt, because he's just not having it, not having a good time. But let's continue on. How else is somebody else doing in regards to this Indiana Jones first-party game coming over to a competing platform? Well, Stein is stating here, y'all better get to play a banger from Machine Games next month, right? Just stating that and showing the PlayStation trailer, the PlayStation shown trailer from its official page. Evil MC's not having it either, so he's in that same copium balloon right there. This is why there is no point in owning an Xbox. This third-party strategy will end this brand. Again, quick pause. It's done. It's not going to end. It's already ended. It's over. No red line. Don't know if you've been here, done that, but it's over. There will be nothing left. It's over. They're third party. Completely. There's not odds and ends or caveats here. It's the weakest I've ever known it to be. It's a miracle Phil and Sarah still have a job after this gen. Again, I don't believe this is Phil and Sarah's call. I think this is Satya's call, is what I think. The stakeholders and all that sort of stuff. We got to figure something out. The subs aren't increasing. You guys aren't buying the games, all this stuff. This isn't just Phil and Sarah's call. Maybe they had some influence on it. Maybe they went along with it. Maybe they did, in earshot, have to say something in regards to this. But it's not solely on them. Therefore, if they did fail that bad in regards to the direction, they would have been let go. We don't want to see anybody let go, but obviously if someone's not doing their job, maybe there's something else better suited for them. But it's done. Ultimately, this is done. These folks are hurting just like Colt. These guys are hurting pretty substantially, but here we are. As we continue on here, folks, now we're in the bargaining stage of somebody else. As you can see here, April 17th, 2025, stated here, Ludwig, I can't wait to play PlayStation games on my Xbox Series X. Please make it happen. So again, they think this is a give and take method. They think they're going to get the superior, and I'm sorry, I'm a huge fan of Uncharted, so maybe a little bit of biasness there. Huge fan, not just saying it because it's PlayStation. If this was on Xbox, still would be a huge fan if this was an Xbox first-party game. Uncharted is mounds better, hills better, miles better, whatever. It's substantially better. This isn't a trade-off. This is not a trade-off that you get a superior, amazing classic that Uncharted is for Indiana Jones in first person. That's... No thank you. No thank you. You could keep Indiana Jones over there if that was the case. Please. We'll keep Uncharted over here in the PlayStation ecosystem. This is one of the main reasons why I stuck with PlayStation the last couple gens is because of Naughty Dog in general, but especially I'm such a huge fan of Uncharted that, wow, that'd bring me to any ecosystem right there. But again, keep your Indiana Jones if that's what you think in your theory there, but no, this isn't a tit for tat. This isn't a trade-off. You're not getting anything special in first party. Uncharted, God of War, Last of Us, Horizon. You're not getting any of that. Astrobot, it's not happening. That's not happening. This is not a bargaining situation. But I do love to see the copium here. Oh, but let's keep going here. So Gaz is already out here stating, just to kind of throw that fuel on the fire, right? PlayStation is third party. This was posted at the end of March here, guys. I don't know. Obviously, this is satire, right? He knows they've been third party, right? They've been third party. Technically, they've been third party. Their stuff has been on PC for years now. I mean, I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know if they need to catch up in the news. I don't know if somebody needs to fill them in. But apparently this third-party nonsense is something they can't grasp because, again, these mans are hurting. These guys are hurting so bad. So bad. They're trying to throw a dig anywhere like, oh, PlayStation's third-party. Oh, don't care. Don't care. Day one first-party games is why I'm where I'm at. Period. That's why I prefer to play where I play because that's the case. But again, maybe that's news to them. And again, it's not the same concept of third party that Microsoft is. Those first party games are not on Xbox at any point in time. Not anytime soon either. I don't see that changing because Xbox is basically all third party publishing now. They're putting their stuff everywhere. There's literally no reason for Sony to put their games over there. They're not pigeonholing themselves into an area where they have to garner this income due to failed subscriptions, due to an ecosystem where the gamers aren't buying the games. This isn't the case. So gotta love more copium, more fuel to the fire there. I know, again, it's satire, but someone should fill him in because part of me thinks that he doesn't understand that it is satire. In fact, he probably thinks, oh, this'll really stir the fire. Like this is news to anybody at this point in time. But I digress. Let's keep going here. Xbox Joker. Haven't featured this moron too much, but here we are. What if Microsoft were to acquire Steam? This is the next copium level here. In the future, Sony wouldn't be able to take back those PlayStation games that have already been ported to PC. This could also explain why Microsoft is shifting toward an Xbox PC hybrid console, because you'll be able to play those games. Dude, they're not going to acquire Steam. Again, Steam doesn't need Microsoft. Microsoft needs Steam. They could offer all the money that they have in the company and do that, and it still wouldn't sell. The Steam, and yeah, it's just not happening, period. Just to even sit there and think of it as a possibility, as a theory, as a what if scenario, It's just such a joke. It just pulls too many brain cells out at this point in time to even generate a likeness towards this. To sit there and entertain this idea is just ridiculous. But you see how far-fetched the delusion is out there, right? That they're just make-believe Candyland scenarios out there that, Xbox still has a way, guys. It's not over until it's over. There's still a case, there's still a multiverse out there of sorts, and this could happen. Never say never. It's not over for Microsoft. It's just totally not. Just hang in there, guys. Just wait till. Just wait till. The running gag and theme of everything there. But we're not quite done here, folks. Not quite done here. So, again, let's revisit the third-party nonsense. We have Risk It for a Busted Can of Biscuits here, back again, stating, and just like that, PlayStation became third-party publisher again for the third time, referencing Everybody's Golf and another game I keep forgetting off the top of my head, because they're licensing out this IP that's available, again, for now Switch and PlayStation and PC, but again, alas, not Xbox, which is the kicker, which is the funny part. So again, their way to try and poke fun, try to be like, look, I understand the situation that Microsoft is in, but look at Sony. They're obviously failing, and now they're just full third party, right? This means they're full third party, right? So, licensing out, like I went over in a previous video, is not the same as creating it from scratch, developing it from the ground up yourself, and putting it on competing platforms. They're licensing this stuff out. They're licensing it out. And there is no third-party publisher again. Once you're a third-party publisher, there's no again. The only time there can be an again afterthought or process is if they took it back. They went full third-party, or even somewhat third-party that they are now because of PC and stuff, right? They could take that back and be like, nah, everything's exclusive to the PlayStation ecosystem going forward. It's that way for like 5 years or something like that. And then year 6, they come out and go, all right, just kidding. We're going to put some of our first-party games on competing platforms like the Nintendo Switch and PC, which they don't consider PC and Switch competing platforms, just an FYI. But if they were treated that much as such, that would be the case, and then you might have a case that you could make in regards to PlayStation went third party again. But they never reciprocated that. They never came back and took anything back or had a break for a while. There's no again. Do we understand what 2 + 2 is right here? It insanity right here to try and make it seem like Sony's always just on this losing end and you should have to worry, and it's just ridiculous. But you got to love the nonsense of it all. But folks, real quick before I get to the last example here in regards to basically the thumbnail here, right? I love it when we have a stall, ass tall, back at it, doing his thing. But I just love to poke fun because they're still waiting. My favorite thing right now from the Nintendo Direct, folks, is the fact that Nintendo, the Switch 2, is getting Final Fantasy VII Remake before Xbox. Case an example right here. Back in 21, June 21st of 21, as you can see, Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox this holiday before the end of the year, Astal says. That's the tweet. Hashtag Final Fantasy VII Remake, hashtag Xbox. He's still at it. We're still here. Just recently in April of this year, Final Fantasy VII Remake still coming to Xbox in 2025, insists Insider at Pure Xbox. So there's still fingers crossed. Maybe I'm not an insider. Never alluded to me being an insider. I've had some insiders send some stuff my way, but I'm not considering myself an insider. I have not heard if Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to Xbox anytime soon, if ever, for sure. I do know that. Could it come out this year? Maybe. But the fact that they were waiting way back in 21, and here we are, almost 4 years later to the date, and Nintendo Switch 2 ended up getting Final Fantasy Remake before the Xbox themselves. Can you imagine waiting that long for a game that you're supposedly super ecstatic and excited about, you not touching this amazing game? And Remake and Rebirth are both amazing games, by the way. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, or even Final Fantasy VII specifically a fan of that, you grew up playing it, maybe you didn't. Even if you're a new fan of the series, absolutely amazing. One of my favorite series of all time, and one of the great generations that we have right now for the PS5 and even PC and stuff like that. What a great game. Check this out. Amazing Remake and Rebirth. But the fact is, I couldn't imagine myself, again, shoe on the other foot, if this was on Xbox and PlayStation was the last place to get it. I'm going to be getting it on the console that has it day one. I'm not waiting for this crap. You already know it's good. The reviews came out, the word of mouth was out. This game's phenomenal. But they choose and refuse to touch it because it's more associated with PlayStation. They probably won't even touch it on the Switch too, which I can understand to a point, but they could have touched it on PC as well. They refused to touch this game, or if they did play it, the fact that you're waiting for it to also come out on the Xbox at that point, and it's been how long? Man, talk about some brand loyalty right there. Down to the end. Down with the ship. They're on there holding up that white flag, going down with it. They're not budging. Pathetic to say the least. Embarrassing to say the least. I can't give them any props like, well, good for them. They're just doing their thing. No, nobody should be that loyal to any corporation ever if they're not bringing the goods, whatever the case may be behind that, right? But, jeez, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It writes itself, like I stated, man. This stuff writes itself. The fact that the Nintendo Switch 2 gets it before Xbox. I mean, I can't think of a better serving platter of karma for these idiots and these morons and these grifters and shills. I can't think of anything better. It's fantastic. Love it. But that being said, we'll wrap up the video here. Hopefully you enjoyed. Every like, comment does help out the algorithm, and I would love to hear from you all, of course, down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself on the path to the 3,500 sub goal. I know we can get there. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being an amazing community, listening to what we have to say, exposing these guys, and having a good time while we're at it. And that being said, at the end of the day, just remember, don't be a salty batch, and we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.